One of my favorite projects from last year was the carved wood light fixture I made for our stairwell, but sadly it stayed with the house when we sold it. So it was time to make a new light fixture for our current house, and I had the perfect place for it over our kitchen island. The difference is I needed this one to be linear. So I had some fun making a completely new carved wood design and set to getting it made with the help of my X-Carve. The design of this light fixture is quite simple, and it carves out from just an 11 by 25 inch piece of lumber. This is a 3/4 inch stock, so basically a 1 by 12 board. But it has 3 light bulbs on it, so it gives off a ton of light. I love that it was super quick to carve out, took only about an hour to get all the pieces carved out. And with this, I was making it from a hard maple scrap that I had left over from when I did my wood kitchen countertops. And I used the cut settings that are built in for the hard maple, and it cut out absolutely beautiful. Once all the pieces were done, before pushing X on that final carve screen, one of my favorite features on Easel Pro is the park. And if you press that little park button, it'll instantly, with just one click, push the X-Carve out of the way, and now you're ready to remove all of your pieces. With all the pieces carved out, I took them to my router table and added a round over to almost all the pieces. Now for the decorative pieces that are kind of the odd shape, I only rounded over the top and the bottom. I didn't round over, I only rounded over the sides. I left the tops and bottoms so that they would attach to the round pieces perfectly. And then on the round pieces, I did the top and the bottom. Similar to my last wood light fixture, this one is being held together with dowels. And I'm using a self-centering doweling jig to add dowel hole to all of the decorative pieces. And I measured the center, and then I used that self-centering doweling jig to drill about an inch deep hole. The X-Carve already drilled the 1/2 inch deep hole on all of the topper pieces, so that was already pre-drilled. I did give it a little bit of a extra drill with my drill bit because it was a little tight on my dowel, but other than that, after I got all of my dowel holes drilled, it was time for assembly. Really quick though, before assembling, you do want to sand all of your pieces now. It will make it a lot easier. Then it's time to assemble. So all of the pieces are assembled with dowels, and they go together really quite simple. You use wood glue in all of the dowel holes, and then 3/8 inch dowels inside of all the pieces. Now I started by assembling attaching the decorative pieces to both of the outer side pieces first, because those ones were easy to do because they laid nice and flat. And then for the centerpiece, it got a little tricky because the centerpiece is not flat to the side pieces. So if you have an extra set of hands, I would definitely recommend using it here. I also used my table to let those larger pieces fall off the table as needed. The shape of the chandelier makes it near impossible to clamp, but I learned that the easiest way to hold the pieces in place while the glue dried is to clamp down the tall centerpiece and then to use some scrap wood and shims to press up on the sides to get them into the proper position while things dry. Then I used a straight edge to make sure everything was nice and straight and things were lined up, and let things dry. After everything was dry, I used a chisel to remove any of the glue squeeze out. I made sure to use lots of glue, and so I wanted to remove that with the chisel. And then I glued the small toppers to the top of all of the larger toppers. Now these pieces are just decorative and are glued right to the top with wood glue, and clamp it and let it dry again. And with all the pieces assembled, I quickly sealed my entire wood chandelier before moving on and adding the lighting kit. I'm attaching a screw collar canopy piece to each of the places where I'm going to have a pendant come through. And this will allow me to attach chain or have the pendant hardware go up through the center. Now, the ones that I purchased are a standard size, and I did make the pieces that size. But then when I got it rounded over and everything, I just didn't really like the look of it. So I enlisted my husband's help to trim those pieces up. And he used his grinder to just really quick shorten them up. And then I used a metal drill bit to put some new holes in it. And then I attached those to the underside of all of the round topper pieces. And this is really where all of the weight of the chandelier is. Then you can attach the hook on the top, which is where you would attach your chain to, and secure it. And then I bought this 4-pack of pendants actually when I made the light that I made last time, and I just happened to have 3 left over, and we needed the extra light in this room. So I added those 3 pendants, and I threaded the wiring up through the center of that collar that I had attached to the underneath. Now it was time to take things inside and gauge how long I needed all of the chain pieces to be. And I got this linear canopy kit that is made so you can attach multiple lights to a single light box. And I made sure to get that lined up and attached to the ceiling according to the directions. And then I enlisted my husband's help again to do the holding. Now on the underside of the light canopy kit, you just string those cords through, and then you can hold it up and get a measurement of exactly where you want that to fall. I cut the chains to the size that we decided. Now I only put chains on the outer 2 areas, and that's because I ended up only having the hardware for it. And I only really needed chains in 2 areas to hold it and support it, and that's going to keep it from spinning or not staying linear. And then for the center, it's just the pendant cord up through the center, and the top is held secure with the piece that came with the pendant kit. And then we were able to attach it to that canopy, hook up all of the wires, and hang it, and it looked amazing. Now I had considered leaving it just with the wood, but I had an idea that I wasn't sure if I was gonna do until we got to this point. And when I saw it there, I loved it, but I didn't absolutely love it. So I decided it was time to enact my second idea, and that was to add wood beads to my chandelier. And I happened to have some leftover wood beads from another project. So I attached some little eye hooks to the underside of the chandelier, and I actually spray painted these black so it would completely blend in and match with all of the hardware of the light already. And I twisted those in. To attach the beads, I used my piece of cording and I tied it around my first eyelet. And then I glued the ends of this cording with some hot glue just to really secure it. And then I threaded my beads onto that. I started with a smaller bead and then some larger beads and a smaller bead. Then instead of tying it off before going to the next loop section, I just ran that cording around the eyelet and continued on. So each row of beads is actually one continuous string. And I did 2 rows of beads on the outer sections with a 3rd row added to the center for a little extra drama. I used 2 different sizes of wood beads because that's what I had on hand. But if you have 3 sizes or are purchasing wood beads for this project, I would recommend a 3rd smaller bead because it did feel a little bulky where all of the beads met up at the eyelets. So I would recommend going with a little bit smaller to reduce bulk in that section. But even with a little bulk, I absolutely love how my DIY chandelier turned out, and the wood beads really add a little bit extra drama, which is exactly what I was going for over our kitchen island. And I love that the 3 light bulbs add so much light to this space that definitely needed it. I've included links to all of the hardware and pieces that I used to create this chandelier so you can create one of your own. And make sure to stop by housefulofhandmade.com and say hi, or hit subscribe so you don't miss out on awesome new DIYs for your home as well.